Si pueden acercarse y ver una flor de color amarillo muy pequeña, posiblemente la puedan ver, solamente que como les digo está dormida. Encuentran lo que es, pues debajo de lo que son algunas raíces que tiene la planta. No, son los rayos naturales. Ojalá se despertara con esto. También contamos con lo que son algunas hierbas, que es el plátano que se encuentra de aquel lado, algunos picos, son los que están aquí, tienen raíces aéreas, y pues también vamos a pasar ahorita a ver lo que es el video, un extra más de la pieza de arte. Estamos dentro del auditorio de Jardín Botánico, si gustan tomar asiento.
In 1943 in Los Angeles, California, James Turrell is one of the greatest artists living today. He lives and works in Flagstaff, Arizona, where he's still working on Rodent Crater, a monumental artwork in the Painted Desert in northern Arizona. He's also very well known for the light works from the 1960s and 70s as part of the light and space movement of Southern California, along with artists such as Robert Irwin, Helen Pashkian, Doug Wheeler, Craig Kaufman, among others. But Turrell's work in particular really focused on using light and architecture to deal with perception, the viewer's perception in particular. My name is Christine Y. Kim. I'm Associate Curator of Contemporary Art at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, where Michael Govan, our director, and I recently curated James Turrell, a retrospective, in 2013. The definition of a sky space, one of the typologies of work by American artist James Turrell, is simple enough. It is a simple enclosed chamber with benches along its walls and an opening in the ceiling that lets the viewer see the interplay of light, sky, and atmosphere. But when it interfaces with the viewer's perception, which is really at the crux of Turrell's practice, it becomes an extraordinary experience of the sky in an array of colors that shift and move most dramatically at dusk or dawn. When you sit silently in a sky space and look up, you have an opportunity to see the sky, something we are fortunate enough to experience every day but typically take for granted. We can see the sky as we have never seen it before. When I sit in a sky space, I'm at once confronted with the sky as a painted plane hovering above me, in this case in the shape of an ellipse, and at the same time, the magnitude of the sky, the wonder of the cosmos and time, and myself as a momentary observer, a mortal, witnessing something greater than all of us through the frame of the sky space that Turrell has created and invited us to experience here. Turrell's sky spaces can be described as ethereal, spiritual spaces conducive to quiet meditation. He has said, "My grandmother believed the purpose of meditation or contemplation was to wait upon the Lord and meet up with the light inside. The temple is within."
Because we give the sky its color, literally we award the sky its color, I can make changes to your context of vision that then color the sky. Basically, the light I'm using is not the light you're looking at. You're looking at the result of this into the sky. In terms of this encounter with color, which is basically what this really is, you come to see colors that you haven't seen before because the colors really are not there. This is a sky space where the action takes place all day, but it's most noticed right at the cusp of day to night in the evening and night to day in the morning. So it starts in twilight, which would start right when the sun goes down to about an hour afterwards. And then in the morning, an hour before it comes up until it comes up. And the type of sky space this is one of the planar ones. In other words, this has the floating sky plane or roof above. The shape is more like sort of the early spaceship shapes, and particularly the ones, the Adamski ones from Split Rock. The thing that's very interesting to me always was the fact that as we humans evolved, the spaceships, the UFOs, also evolved. So that the early ones, like Buck Rogers, had rivets and were sort of made of iron and all this, and later they became very pure discs. And now they even have a psychic factor so that you actually have to be sensitive in order to see it. So as we have changed our consciousness, so have the UFOs changed. So that was interesting to me. And also, I like this sort of flowering, and certainly if you see the work in here, it's like this blooming. So I work the light of the sky that is changing in relationship to how I do the light on the inside. I have some idea how it's going to change, and then I work the light to that. So the morning has a very different character than the evening, for instance, but also the beginning or the depth of night into morning has very sensitive things because your eyes are already dark adapted. I keep that way by having you come in very low-level red light as you come in the early morning. In the evening, your eyes are flashed. So pupils are very, very small. And even, generally we squint and we even wear dark glasses sometimes because we weren't made for this light. We're made more for the light of twilight or the light of the cave. So I find that you have much more sensitive work in the early morning than you do afternoon into evening. It has something that settles down people in general. It's not meant to in any way be religious. It does have some spiritual connotation, but light is something that art has been involved with from Turner, before that with Rembrandt and Vermeer. Rembrandt, more sort of warm, emotional light. Vermeer, very cool, almost intellectual light. Goya, and Velázquez, a very powerful romantic light. Then all of the Impressionists who also were involved with light. Turner, who was very prescient, almost an abstract expressionist, and very early impressionist as well. So when I look at this, I have many heroes that were depicting light, and the only difference here is I just wanted to use light itself, so you were really feeling light. And the rules are very different than painting. With painting, you can take blue and yellow, you mix them and you get green. But if you take blue light and yellow light, you'll get white light. So this is quite a surprise, and so the rules are completely different as they are in how color is made in the opening above. So I just want to have people kind of have some kind of general awareness of that. Well, this is actually between you and your seeing. I mean, I obviously initiate that encounter, but it's usually you who comes to understand your own way of perceiving and how you give or award the sky its color. This is something we're generally quite unaware of, because we think we receive everything, that everything comes to us, but in fact, we're very much a part of the perception that we create. And so, in doing this with our perceiving, we create the reality within which we live.